Okay, everybody, welcome to the Global Photo Project Countdown live stream. And I hope you all are having a good Sunday part. I need to take that from the. Okay. Oh, I do have the sound on for some reason. Now it's off. Sorry about that. It's always something. I hope the sound is okay, that you can hear me cool, nice and clear, because that's always been a bit of a thing in my live streams. That been adjusting the sound, and I hope you can hear me well. And this live stream is all about just counting down the start of the global photo project. You can see the clock. That's time. That's right now in Auckland, New Zealand. And if you're following the newsletter, which you probably have, you know why I picked Auckland, because that's the first place where people start photographing. I know that the Kiribati has been, the 19th has been already 2 hours in Kiribati, and especially in the Christmas Islands, which I actually found out that there are two Christmas Islands. One is part of Australia in front of Indonesia, and then the other one is right in the middle of the Pacific in the Kiribati, or the Republic of Kiribati, which is the most, well, east or west, it depends on how you look, but the first place where the day changes. So, but there's nobody from Kiribati, unfortunately, so that's why I picked this time. And you probably heard this from the newsletter already, but let's say where you guys from. There is somewhere Asturias, Spain, Labrador, Canada. You have to wait a little bit to start your photographing. I hope you've already planned something that you can photograph, or maybe you go just by the gut feeling. Everything's go. Then Nazare, Portugal, Asturias, Spain, uh, Sebago, Lake Mine, and Hamburg, Haifa, Auckland. All right, you've got, you know, 55 minutes until you can start. Maybe you have a good night's sleep first. I don't know. It depends on what your idea is. Maybe you photograph right at the first minute. That would be kind of cool. If you have some idea, that could be probably a cool idea. And Andre from Portugal, how you doing? Actually, I met Andre a few years ago in Lisbon. And then we have Marmaratan from Trinidad and Tobago. Yeah, you too. You have to wait for a little while. This is so great. We have, people register all over the world. And I'm not sure if Africa is, but they've been visiting the website. I can see that there's been visits from South Africa, Tanzania, at least. Not sure what other countries. All right. Thanks, Jan. It sounds good. That's very good. It's the first time ever on my live stream that I don't have a real sound problem. So that's a good start for the project. And then we have Nigel from Hull, UK. Welcome, everybody. And the idea here is just to go quickly through the rules. And if you have any questions, or you want to share your idea or photographs, or inspire others, just feel free to add that into the comments. And as I said, I will try to answer the comments if you have any questions. There have been some questions about submitting the images and all that, but I will get into that later in the live stream. And I will be live streaming until or about an hour. I was going to say about 3 p.m., but I don't know. Depends on where you are. 3 p.m. is not a good way to say it, but about an hour. I have something to do uh, later this afternoon, so I have to go, unfortunately, which was arranged before I got this idea. But if we go to the idea and check out the web page, which what we have here, and of course the rules is not very strict. The only strict thing is that you have to photograph your image on the 19th of August on your time zone. And please, when you submitting, which I will give uh, uh, instructions on next Tuesday on a newsletter. I have to, make sure that everything works because we're working on an online thing, which is always a possibility that something goes wrong when people submit their photos. And I want it to go as smooth as possible. So I need to have to do some testing first or final test so that it really works. And there are still some problems. But if there will be any problems, then you just email me and I'll try to fix it and we'll figure it out. And that's why you have the whole month to submit the image. So by the end of this month, you need to submit that. And when you're submitting the photograph, only one photo. There's been some misunderstanding about how many photos because it's about choosing the best image that you think is the best. And as you know, I will have some, don't know the amount yet. Now I have like 750 registered yeah, a little over that, almost 800 registered, and might be some more people that are registering after this or during this live stream because and here you can see the page where you can register, and of course it doesn't require you to make the image, but of course if you register and have the possibility to photograph on the 19th, please do because it's going to be well, a little bit of history too, in the sense that I know that this type of things has been done before, but I haven't heard any big ones lately. So I hope this will be. Now I have to take. So I hope this will be something that people will recognize in the long run. And this is not going to be the only one. I will have one next year too, I hope. So if this goes well, definitely I will have. But if you can imagine, if I get 750 images, not all of them are going to be included in the book. But every photograph will be posted on this website that you see now. I'll put a gallery there where you can look at the images and how I'm going to uh, make the book. I don't know yet because it depends on what type of images I get. Do I put them in something to do with where the photo was taken or when it was taken or what the subject is? I don't know yet. It all depends on how much I get and what type of images I do get. But as you can understand that not every photograph, unfortunately, can be in the book. It's probably going to be so many images that it's not possible. So try to make the best image as possible to be included in the book. And I will talk about the book a bit later when I talk about what uh, charity or what cause or what is the organization I'm gonna donate the money that we make from the book. It's not. I don't want to, make money on your images. I think that those images are yours, and as it says in the rules, which we will go through next just a little bit, is that of course the copyright is yours, and you can use the images the way you want. No, I don't have, or the global photo project does not have the uh, copyright, so no worries about that. Now let's see if there are any questions. We have someone from Frankston, Australia. Hey, you have a couple of hours, or what's the time difference between New Zealand and Australia? Few hours, is it? And then Jody Dresner from Israel. Then we have Newfoundland, Canada. You have to wait for a little while, so photograph it on your time zone. That clock over there is time in New Zealand at the moment. So they will start the first, or they're the first ones that will start the whole thing. And then we rest of us come later. And I think I have to wait for 9 hours because it's afternoon, 2 p.m. right now, a little over 2 p.m. And, then people live in Alaska, if they are participating, someone from Anchorage, I think it's 20 hours wait. So uh, almost the whole day to wait for. So by the time they start in Alaska, it's almost 20th in Auckland. So it's almost a 48-hour thing, the whole project. Something like 44 hours or something like that, that is actually lasting. So it's a long time to photograph. But remember, you have to do it on your own, time zone when you have the 19th. That's the thing that I really want. In the If we go to the rules and what to photograph, and you can photograph anything and everything. It doesn't matter what the subject is, and this is something that I want you to do is not overthink your photograph. Just what I usually do if I have hard time to photograph, I just start snapping away because you have to send only one image. It doesn't matter if it's your first shot of the day or the last one or anything between because you don't have to show the other images. So no worries. Just take your time, and I hope you have some time on the 19th to photograph so that you can, make the best out of your photography. But don't overthink it. Just, everyday things are important, and as we wanna show different aspects of the world and different aspects of the day, so it doesn't have to be a celebration or something really, really special. An ordinary thing that you're doing during the day is totally, totally fine. Just to try to make it a compelling and image that has some story in it. Now I have something in my throat. Just a minute. I hope my mic was off when I was coughing. But yeah, so don't overthink. That's my main kind of advice for your photography. And I think this is the time to show your best work. In a sense that photograph something that you're familiar with. If you're wildlife photographer, try to go out and do your everyday thing and try to find something there. Or if you like to photograph, just, family photos, no problem with that. But of course, remember that people know if there are people who photograph in that type of photography, like in family photos, that you have the permission to send the photograph to this and maybe published in the book and of course and definitely published in the website of the Global Photo Project. And I will probably tweet and I will set up an Instagram account to share those photos. And of course, I will credit every time who the photographer was or is. And then one thing is that when you uh, exporting the image from your image editing software, make sure that you have the metadata and especially the date and time when you photographed it. And when you're submitting the image, then I want to hear the camera and the lens that you made and some additional information like shutter speed and that, and that probably will be included in the book because I know that people are interested in that. And yeah, why not? It'll be interesting to see the the different cameras and lenses and what people were using on this project. It's also interesting information, and also will ask some notes and comments about the image, and if I decide, maybe I'll print those also in the book. So if there is some backstory of the image and why you maybe chose that, it's always a plus. But it's not something that you have to do. But it's much appreciated if you have some kind of a story, like those who have been part of the 52 assignment. You always are always asking some comments about the photograph, so that'll be nice to have, and maybe print it in a book next to the photograph because that will tell a lot more. And of course, where the photograph was photographed, that's also an important thing too, or one of the most important things. So that's also be nice to include it in, or it's actually a must. So I want to know where the photograph was made because that's one part of this, so that we can show that the photos were taken all over the place, all over the world. I mean. And then, of course, the photograph has to be legal in your country, so I don't want any illegal photographs or so, and also no AI generated images. So don't uh, use generative AI or generative fill and add stuff to the image. I don't mind if you take out some uh, dust spots that are in the center and those show in the image. Of course, you can clean that stuff up. And also, if there is something a branch sticking, again, really show it. But anyway, if there is some, tree branch just sticking slightly out of in the corner, no problem. And cropping, of course, is always something that you can do. That's definitely okay. But don't add anything more or remove any big things from the image. I don't want that. I want the images to be as much. as possible a document of that particular day and that particular time and that particular place. So bear that in mind. And then there were some questions about the model release, and especially about or when you're photographing, candid shots of people in the streets. And that's a bit tricky. And I know that it's not an easy thing to kind of maybe I'll put that over there so we can see that also. So it's not an easy thing, but model release. If you let's say that you're making a portrait, or you know the person, or you can get the permission, then yes. But a general street photograph is, at least here in Finland, it's part of free speech, and as long as you don't show the people in bad light, and with bad light I mean so that we might think or laugh at the person, as a person. Of course, if it's a funny photograph, then it's a different thing. We're not laughing at the person particularly, but the whole situation might be funny. But of course, if there are homeless people and someone drinking in the streets, and yeah, I know those are documents of the time, and documents of the place, but maybe not this time of that, because uh, it's a bit tricky thing. So be careful with that. But regular street photographs, as if you haven't seen my videos ab- about street photographs and street photography, I think those images are totally okay, because if it's taken in a public place where you are allowed to photograph, then shouldn't be any problem. But of course, if that's illegal in your country, then take that into account, and think what you should photograph, because I know in some countries photographing in public places and photographing people in public places is illegal, which is, well, a bit funny and strange to me, where I live in a fairly liberal society where almost everything is possible when it comes to photography. So in that sense, but you know the rules in your own country, and but don't be afraid to photograph on the streets if that's your thing. But by no means that I don't want everybody going to the streets and photograph. You should photograph stuff that you normally photograph, because, as I said, I want to see a variety of topics and places, and in the cities, in the nature, in the woods, and everywhere. So don't try to photograph. And there's one about to photograph, and photograph things that you usually photograph, and don't try to think what I like, because at this first photo project, global photo, I'm the only judge here. Maybe next year I'll have someone to help me, so may have a judge panel or something. Maybe, I don't know, but this year I will be. So don't think about your image the way what I would like, because that's the wrong approach. Always photograph what you feel like is good, because I try to be as neutral as possible, and not my own how would I say genres. What I like is not going to be, so it's not going to be a like book about street photographs. It's going to be a book about photographs, all genres. I want that to be clear. So don't overthink in that sense too. That what I might like. Let's see if we have any questions. And let's see. There's yeah, it's about 2 hours behind New Zealand. That was about Australia. Yeah, that's what I figured. Or and okay, and then Juan was asking this question, which I actually kind of answered. That do we need a signed document for every person appeared in the street photo? No, you don't. If it's a general street photograph, then you don't. If it's a portrait, it's a little bit different thing. Then you should have one. But if you take a general street photograph, no. If it's legal in your own country, of course. If it's not, then it's a different thing. It all depends on, because everything in the book that is published is, according to Finnish law. That's a kind of a way. So if there is any problems, they have to come to Finland and sue me. I hope that's not going to happen, but we'll see. But I don't think it's a real problem. As I said, if it is a neutral photograph that there is no we're not making fun or showing some vulnerability in the person or homeless or something like that, then it's a little bit different thing. So every general everyday photograph in a public place is totally fine. You don't need a permit for that. And then Sebastiano says that today is his last day of holiday and tomorrow I will be back to work. Will not easy to photograph something interesting, but I will give it a try. Yeah, please do give it a try and see what you can do. If you have any free time during lunchtime, take a little photo walk and think what's around the office, or if you work from home, try to take a walk during the day, or maybe you have time to take a little walk in the evening after work, or maybe if you commute to work, take your camera with you on the bus and stuff. But of course, if you're driving, don't photograph and drive at the same time. But if you're taking a bus, or maybe you could do that and see what you can see on your way to work. That could also work because that could be also an interesting subject, the commuting to work thing. Because I want there to be a story. So if that's your thing, I don't know. Maybe you're a, what do you call a nature photographer? Then you could be a little bit harder. But take a walk in the park in your lunch hour or something if you have time. And we have Margaret Wong from Melbourne, Australia. And then this is a hard one. Hello from Nijmegen, Netherlands, Kansas City, USA, Lawton, Norway. And yeah, that's a good question. I will get to this next. There is the file naming, and the rule says that please put your name in the file name like this: last name underscore first name, and then if you have a name for the photograph, that's totally fine too. So yes, put the name so it's easier for me to find, so I don't have to look for strange number letter combinations .jpeg or something. If there's a name, it's easy to find the image when I download them. Yeah, a good question. Oh, wait a minute. If you uh, mean what do you call a stamp? What do you call that? A overlay on the name. Please don't do that because it will be printed on the book next to the image. So no, what do you call it? Now I lost the word. Watermark. Yeah, that's what it is. No watermarks, please. And then any preferences to color or black and white? No, it's up to you. What do you want to photograph? And both are totally fine. And then Brad Warrior asked, can we capture panoramic images like multiple images stitched together? Yes, you can. No problem with that. It's totally okay. That's technically 4 images or 2 images, but if it's, stitched together as one, yeah, that's totally fine. And then David Hill, he's hi from the UK. Hi. Hi there. I will be doing a I will be going on a photo walk around the city of Leeds tomorrow. Hopefully, I'll capture some worthwhile photos. Yeah, that's a good idea to take a photo walk in the places that you're familiar with. And I guess you're from Leeds, but I'm not sure. You didn't say that, but that's what I assume. Yeah, that's a good idea. And, as I said, don't overthink. And if you have trouble finding, then start photographing anything that looks interesting and pick up from that. That usually works for me very well. And, there might be first 20 images are total garbage, but then it starts picking up and I think it works. Yeah, Andre, yes, it's 10 megabytes, and that's because of the uh, limits on the uploading. Actually, Google will be Google is the Google Forms is the one that I'm gonna use. So yes, 10 megabytes. So if you can manage to compress it to be 10 megabytes, then it's totally fine. And yeah, then uh, how to participate, that you probably already know that you have registered most likely. If there's someone who hasn't, there is a link to the registration page in the description of this video. So after you watch this, go and register. And if you register tomorrow, then it's totally fine. I will be taking the registrations all the way up to the 20th, and then I will close it down. But until then, you can register if you haven't already. And if there's someone who hasn't received the newsletters and you register, then just give me an email. You can find the email in the. Not sure. Yeah, I'll add it. I'm not sure if it's on this description, but other videos have it. So there are other descriptions or the email in the description. So if you have problems, and you can find it on this page too. So because there have been some people had some troubles, so I've added them manually. So if you haven't gotten, and there is also in the newsletter, there's a link to older newsletters. So if you signed up later, you can go back and read the older ones if you wish. And then let's talk about the selection and usage of the image. And the images won't be used for anything else except the context of global photo project. So I will keep them as long as I need to use them to market the global photo project for 25. And as I said, I will probably publish some of the best photos in Instagram account, which I will set up. I haven't done it yet, but I will. And then, of course, maybe on Twitter. I'm not sure yet, or X, actually, what it's called now. But we'll see about that. But definitely also in the gallery, as I mentioned a few times. And I also mentioned that I'm the only one this year that is going to choose the images, and I will print the best ones in a book and in the image gallery and for marketing purposes. And I have the final word, so there is no you know, if your image is not in the book, there is, then it's not, and that's of course a pity if you don't. Because I would love to, you know, print everything, and we'll see how many images I finally get. As I said, there's almost 800 registered, so if there is going to be over 700 images or 500 or over 300, it's going to be a tricky thing to have them in a book. But we'll see what we'll do. And then I also mentioned about the copyright, and you have the full copyrights. And also, when you're submitting the image, you have also the permission to do so. It's you have who have made the image, so don't send images for someone or steal someone's image, which you won't. I know that you won't do that because you're all photographers and respect other people's work. And of course, every time the image is shown somewhere in conjunction with the global photo project, your name will be mentioned and who took the image, of course. And then the charity. As I said, I'm not going to use the money myself because it's your work, and I want to donate the money that comes out of the book to a organization. And what I've chosen is I've have it on my blog. No, it's not public yet. I see. I think it should be maybe it's around 3 o'clock, but I will tell you it's going to be the world press photo. I chose that one because, of course, the relationship with photography, and I think we all think that free press, free speech, and photojournalism is something that we want to endorse and we want to support. So I will donate to World Press Photo, and it's also mentioned in the newsletter that is probably should be sent like 3:30 p.m. finish time. So in an hour, you will get that where that's explained. And then there is also a blog post about it, which I thought was already public, but it's not. But anyways, it will be a world press photo. So I hope that it's fine with everyone. If someone feels that it's not proper, then well, you decide. But I think it was quite a good because that's something that is in not in danger, but free speech in part of the world and in general is threatened, unfortunately. So I think that's one part, and it's about photography, and I think that at least I think it's a good one. I don't know. What do you think? And then yeah, this is the question that I've been uh, uh, puzzling. Do I take any photos? And the thing is that tomorrow on the 19th, early morning, I have a video shoot that goes all the way up till the afternoon, and then I'm traveling in the evening to Tallinn. So I don't have much time to photograph in Helsinki, and all this was, agreed before I thought about this whole project, which actually was done quite quickly. About a month ago, I came up with this idea that let's do this kind of stuff this year and next year and year after. So I don't know if I have that much time, but I will most likely photograph, and that my photograph, if it's good enough, will be included, but it will be included so that I will have the amount of photographs would be the same because I will, of course, have some kind of a uh, foreword or some kind of text about the project in the beginning of the book, and I will add my photographs with that text. So I won't take anyone's place. That's my decision because I wanted to be a part of this too because I thought that I don't want to be left out. So I will be photographing. But of course, if I feel that the photograph is not worthy of the book, then I won't be publishing it. But most likely I will make an image that will make the book. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But I don't know if that but definitely won't take anyone's place in the book. If I decide to do, let's say, 100 images, 200, then mine be the 101 or 100 and 201 or the 201st image or however you say that. But yes, I will be photographing. I forgot to confirm the subscription until today. Is that okay? Yeah, most likely. You can send me an email if you don't get the email today. And check, from this page, you can find my email and I will add you manually, but no problem with that. But it's important to have your email in the mailing list so that I can send you the submission form link on Tuesday. So make sure that you get the email in about an hour. I think it was. Yeah. Fully support your charity, Joyce. Thank you. Thank you very much. We have just had the World Press Photo Exhibition here in Auckland. It was impressive. Yes, if you ever have a chance to go and see that, please do. It's a very impressive, and it tells a lot about the world during that year. Some of the images are horrifying in a sense of the what's inside the image, what it's about. Of course, most of the images are great photographs, but some of them are really, you know, heartbreaking when you see people in trouble and all the crises and stuff. There are a lot of bad things going on in the world at the moment. So I hope this, World Photo Project is or Global Photo Project is something that we can, enjoy and have a good time also. But yeah, if you ever have a chance to go to World Press Photo exhibitions, don't miss that. Bonjour. Yeah, we still have, it's 20 minutes, 20 minutes in Auckland that or they can start. Um, yes, I think those are mainly about the rules. And yeah, then there is some merchandise that you can buy. I have a T-shirt, and I have somewhere my mug. Oh, I wonder where it is. Just a minute, I forgot about it. Okay, let's see if that. Yeah, the AF works. Yeah, it's like this. The mug. I should have used this, and I have a glass. I don't know what I was thinking. You know. Cheers. But yeah, that's an additional way to support if you feel like that. If you feel like supporting, I think you can see it better now than the bigger picture. It's just a nice little mug, and then we've got t-shirts and hoodies for you to purchase if you want to support the cause. Of course, this has taken a lot of my time to set everything up, but I think it's worth it because my goal has always been to or inspiring you people to photograph more and enjoy photography because I think it's one of the best things you can do is to photograph because it's at least I enjoy it so much then and for me, the act of making the photograph is almost as important as the end result. So of course, tomorrow or almost today in Auckland, uh, I was, what I was gonna say, yes, of course, this time when you go out, you really want to get that best shot that's possible at that particular moment where you're photographing. So I think now the end result is more important than the act of photography. But don't forget to enjoy it because usually when you enjoy it and have a good time and don't overthink the thing and be relaxed, you will get there and you will get the image. So, you know, relax and enjoy photography even tomorrow. And there's also a blog post about why uh, let me show to you why the 19th of August is considered to be the birthday of photography, and there is a little story, and I also have a video on my channel about it. So if you want to see that, let's see if there are any things about in the about page. Yeah, there's nothing that I haven't said already about that. But do you guys have any questions? Let's check out if you have any questions. And yeah, Andrea, this is an important question, so no problem going back to this. Sorry for going back to the topic again, but the model release is needed for the case the work is going to be commercially released. Yes, this is a tricky question and tricky thing because we have so-called in the context of art. That's what this is. This is not a commercial product in a sense that it's commercial. That this is a bit tricky, I know. But even in France, where you have or Switzerland, but especially in France, where you have very strict rules nowadays about uh, being photographed in the public. In the strict rules that France have is that if you go out and photograph someone on the streets, let's say you take a candid portrait of someone, the person in the photograph has the copyright of that photograph, but it can be published in context of free speech and art. There are some court cases about that. But of course, we're always on a gray area. And if you feel that it's not okay in your own country, then photograph something else or photograph so that the people are not recognizable. So you don't see the face or crop it somehow or something. But of course, showing the face and showing the emotions is always a good thing. But nowadays, there is a big trend in street photography. Well, where, wait a minute, where people are being photographed from the behind. That's exactly the reason, because of course the world has changed drastically during the social media era. People are more aware of their rights and protecting their privacy a lot more. So it's your decision, but this is in the context of art, so it should be okay. But I admit that we are a little bit on the gray side or the gray area. Yes, and let's see. In there is the question, where's the link to send a photo? It's not public yet. It will be relieved or released on next Tuesday, and you have time until the end of this month, so the August, so I think it's 31st or 30th, whichever is the last day to submit the photograph. And you can register, you know, a couple of days after until Tuesday, so that if you have taken a photograph but haven't registered yet, then you still have the possibility to send the image. But if, before Tuesday, because then I will send the final email where is the link to the upload thing, and I most likely I will probably put uh, a password to that, so that you need to have the password, and that will be also included in the email. But I'm not really sure about the password yet, but that could happen, so beware of that. Shouldn't be a problem, though. Yeah, Sebastiano, in the end, will be entertaining to see how many countries will be in this project. Yeah, that's also what I'm very keen on, and seeing, and I hope that there will be as many as possible. And when I will be judging the images, and I don't think I will look into the country at first. I will look at the images first, and if some countries are left out because I think the images are not good enough, I might leave them out. So it's not that if there is only one photographing from some country that will be automatically included. I will try to make the decision based on the image itself and the subject and everything that's inside the frame. Yeah, I would change this your book, our book. I believe it can be placed in the category of art release. Yes, that's what's going to be, and if wherever I will make that print on demand thing, it's going to be in the art section anyways. So that kind of makes it uh, more safe. So we have 15 minutes to go in Auckland, and then a reminder again that you should photograph in your own time zone. So when that it's hard. That time will be 0:00. That means that it starts in Auckland, but it doesn't mean that it starts in Finland. It's still 9 hours to go until I can start photograph, or depends on where you are, but you can start to photograph. So it's only for Auckland, but I wanted to have this where it starts. Unfortunately, I will be in Estonia, so I can't have a live stream countdown to the end, which will be like 20 hours after Auckland and, everything, I think. Yes. But anyways, when the day changes in Anchorage, Alaska, USA, and I think there are some places even more west from Finland that have a 1 hour more than Anchorage. I'm not really sure. To be honest, I didn't check that where the last line goes. Let's see if we have any more questions. Now I need to check what else did I need to talk about, to check if there is something in the terms and conditions. These are just regular rules that, I just have to have, and yeah, the one thing is about of course, the privacy and data protection. We have a very strict rules about data protection here in Europe, so that I will, of course, follow that because that's also the EU law, which applies here in Finland too. So all the information is kept safe. I use Squarespace, so technically it's in the US, I think, so it's a bit tricky in that sense, but I will, of course, protect and these emails that you have sent me won't be used for anything else except communicating with you regarding global photo project. So, I'm not gonna use them for anything else, not even my own newsletter from my YouTube channel. That's a different mail list, so I'm not going to make them. Most likely, there are a lot of people that have signed up for both of them. That's a different thing, but I won't be sending that to this or the global newsletter to my YouTube channel's mailing list. So they will be kept separate. So don't worry about that. And let's see. And yeah, then there's one thing about uh, the photographing. So that two things about when you are making the images. Do not take any uh, unnecessary risks when you're making the image. Don't go to bad neighborhood just to get a decent shot if that's not your thing, that you've done it before, or and if you climb somewhere, you need to get a better shot. Be careful. I'm not taking any responsibility for that, and that's also said in the terms and conditions, so that if something happens, it's your responsibility. So have your insurances and insure your gear and everything like that. So that's out there and clear. But don't take any necessary risks. No photograph is worth risking your life, for example. So be careful when you photograph. It depends, of course, where you are and what you're going to photograph. Most of us photograph in a fairly safe places and stuff like that. So yeah, just remember that. And yeah, there's the my contact information, my email that if you have any questions, please contact me. And let me it's about 10 minutes, 11 minutes until the start of this whole project. And I really hope that this is successful for wait a minute, that one. It's successful for everyone, and you get a good photograph and hopefully published in the book. So that'll be really exciting. And as someone says already, that it's going to be exciting to see how many photographs we get, and I hope we can get them from all over the world. Let's see if there are any questions. Yeah. mm, Let's see. Brad Worry asked, "Will the photos be uploaded to the website daily or dumped every day, few days when you get the opportunity to do so for us to look at the work?" Yeah, that's a good idea, actually. Yes, maybe I will do that, but I will upload. And I to be honest, there are so many things to think about that I haven't really thought about this, but I think this could be a good idea to publish them maybe daily or twice a day. That could, of course, give some good traffic to the site and not a bad idea. Yeah, I think about that. Yeah, very good. Thank you for this idea. I To be honest, I haven't really thought about, and it's actually takes the workload off to if there let's say that there were like 750 images, to upload them in a day would be, you know, a mission impossible, but maybe I will upload them in galleries daily. So yeah, it's a good idea. Thank you for that very much. Appreciate it. And Andre says, I think it's safe to say we all are eager to see the results. It's a great idea. I want to stick year after year. Yeah, I hope that I can make this happen next year too, and that's the plan. It's not just a one-time thing, but that's my goal, that I will have this every year from how as long as I can manage all this stuff. If I don't lose my marbles or anything, then I will make this happen every year, and that'll be great to have, let's say, like 10 years of books of this day. That'd be huge. And then Pierre Boucher is asking, does the picture needs to be taken outside? I'm asking because the weather will be very bad tomorrow where I live. No, no, of course not. You decide. It can be indoors. You might have a great story indoors, and but then on the other hand, bad weather is also good weather to photograph. Of course, it depends on if it's a, really big storm, as I said, don't take any unnecessary risks when making that image. If it's kinda like a hurricane or really huge storm, and it's safer to be indoors, then, you can figure it out indoors too. There are a lot to photograph among your family, maybe some macro shots or some close-ups or, the garden or in the balcony outside the window to see the bad weather or something, yeah. Definitely, you decide. I've just registered for this wonderful project. Great to have you on board. I hope you have a successful day on the 19th and get a really stunning image. Thanks for being with us. Yeah, thank you for the encouragement. Yeah, I think this is something, that might be successful because I think even though I made up the idea, which is not very original, I know that there's been these type of things before, but as I said in the beginning of this live stream, that there hasn't been so many in recent years. So yeah, I hope so. Let me see if I missed any questions. I don't think if there is any questions that I missed from the earlier, maybe I'll check it here. If you could, we still have about 6 minutes to the official start, which is, you know, I don't know. Yeah, you can probably see that. It's I had to stop down my lens just to make that a bit more sharp, and glad I have the light right there. But to be honest, I'm getting a bit, you know, not nervous, but in a good way. Shouldn't, butterflies in the stomach when this starts. It's going to be really. I'm beyond excitement, but you know that those who've been following my videos and that this is my excited kind of like expression, and then when I'm not, I'm still look the same. So it's kind of funny. Yeah, it's a Finnish way of being excited, not showing the emotions. Those who have seen, for example, Kimi Räikkönen, the Formula One driver or former, then you know how the Finns are. I'm sure that everyone participating appreciates the time and effort to keep your global photo project connected. Yes, thank you very much. Thank you very much. And what is the minimum size of the photo? Well, let's say that we have a, A4 size book. So think about that. It's about a letter size. So if you make it about that size, but 10 megabytes is the file size in that measurement is the because that's the upload limit per image. But yeah, it's gonna be about the letter size A4 size book. So that probably makes it a roughly you get the idea of the size. And it's about 4 minutes. But there's a good questions, and I will check this, uh, chat after this when I make some adjustment to the newsletter that it will be sent on Tuesday, where you have the submission link and everything. And I will, have that, all some of the information that you've asked here to include it. That is a very valuable stuff because when you're making this, there's so many things to think about, and I think I covered quite well because there haven't been really a massive amount of questions, but some clarifications about some things has been addressed through your questions, which is really great. Let's see, Peter, I think you should be very proud of this. The community you created for this project is vast and diverse. It's a worldwide project. P.S. Iceman Kinneräken is the boss. Yeah, he is. He's a very funny guy. If a photograph inside an art gallery photograph is not forbidden, do I need to need approval from the gallery or the artist? Well, that depends. If the subject is the piece of art, then yes. But if it's, let's say, if someone is reacting with piece of art and you're photographing general photographs where those pieces of art are shown, then I don't think you need, at least here in Finland, you don't. But of course, if you kinda like have the, uh subject and the whole thing is about the art piece, then yes. But if you're there, you probably will get the permit or the model release for that. But it also depends on a little bit about the rules in your own country and how the law goes. But the general thing is that if it's not the main subject, then it's totally fine if you can see it in the background. Can model release forms be downloaded on some website? Yes, I do have it. I hope I did because let's see in the rules page. By the way, 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Yeah, here you can see it's a PDF. You can go to the rules page and model release, and there you can download a PDF. It's just a general thing, and you can add something to it if you need it. But there, yeah, there you can download it. That's a good. I should put that in the newsletter too. That's a good question. It's a bit hot, it's a bit buried in the middle of the rules. But yeah, you go to the rules page and then model release, and there you can download it. In the end of the book, including the name of people who participated in the project, so that even if the photo is not chosen, it can still be mentioned. Yeah, it's another good idea. Another good idea. Yeah. Or maybe we could have like, let's say, X amount of images, and then all the rest that did not kind of make it could have a small thumbnail and the name who took it, so that everybody would be included. That's a possibility. But to be honest, everything has happened so fast that I haven't really thought about that. But that everything will be cleared, and I didn't think about that yet because if I could do that, put thumbnails of every image, I don't think people would mind having their image in the book anyways, even though it's not full spread or the whole page or something. But we'll see. Very good idea. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. But do you know what? If you see that, it has started. So if there is someone from New Zealand right there, Sue Townsend is, I think, yes. I hope I got it correctly. Good luck. Thank you very much. But yeah, it's officially started, and if there are any questions, just go to the website globalphotoproject.org and send an email. And if you get and try to look if it can be found there. I will be adding some stuff according to this conversation here and your ideas. I think you kind of pitched in very good ideas and very good things about the whole thing. So appreciate it very much. And as I said, I need to be somewhere in an hour going downtown Helsinki. So I have to stop this live stream in a few minutes. But I wish you good luck and really thank from the bottom of my heart for you guys supporting this thing and being, you know, part of the community and photographing on the 19th, which is, already started in Auckland. So thank you so much. You guys have made this project successful, and I'm waiting to see stunning images. I know you're great photographers, all of you guys, and I know you can make a stunning image. And I hope I have positive problem, hard time to choose because that means that you've done great job. And if there are any questions, don't hesitate to email me and ask. And on Tuesday, watch or look at your email and check out the junk mail if that email hasn't arrived. Sometimes during Tuesday, you will get an email where you have the submission form. And don't rush it. Take your time and pick the best images. You have a month to submit your image. But hey, thanks for watching and bye for now.